Brooke Savage. I'm a producer here at News 6 covering the local theater, arts, and entertainment news. Charlie Green, aka CG5, is known to be YouTube's one of YouTube's leading artists. He does a lot of songs about video game memes, pop culture references, and this Saturday, he's bringing his show to downtown Orlando. CG5 is here to tell us all about his upcoming show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello there, Brooke.
So first off, I have to ask, how did you get into performing?
So I've been performing for quite a while now. But since I was like 5 years old, that was when I realized I wanted to make music. Um, I was producing on my dad's computer at that point, and I really wanted to do something with music in my life. And so I worked my way up to performing, probably started performing more in my talent show in fifth grade when I did Eye of the Tiger. And I had the crowd on their feet. It was a very interesting experience for me. And I knew that I wanted to keep doing that as well. And so, by performing since then, I think I'm doing a little better than I did before that first time. But I think I really love performing right now.
I love it. Is this, I apologize, is this one of your first tours or have you been on tour before?
I've been on tour before. This is like my third tour, but this is my first like world tour or a tour where I'm touring more than just like 15 cities. I'm doing like 40, I think, this year. And even up until March, because I'm going to be performing in Australia, and then a bunch of more dates are going to be announced in the next year. I've been pretty busy. Um, I have no chill, so
Yes, you do seem very busy, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing people comment on your post being like, "Why aren't you coming to my city?" So you definitely seem very high in demand. And I have to ask, you did get your start on YouTube, right?
yes, I mean, I got my start. I got started in posting there, of course, because I wanted to post on the internet so that more people could see what I was doing. I got started with like recording covers of songs, like with acoustic versions of songs, like doing Shawn Mendes "Stitches" or popular songs around that era when I was like 15 years old. And then I started the channel CG5, which was a separate channel from what I was doing prior, because I wanted to get more serious with production. And then things started really blowing up for me um, right out of high school on that channel in particular. So the only ever other job I ever worked was at Chick-fil-A, where I said my pleasure 20,000 times a day for a year. But I get to do what I love uh, for the rest of my life, I think, full time. So I'm really grateful for that.
Wow, and I have to say, I am just so impressed by how, you're a self-made artist, how you were able to rise to fame through YouTube because back in the day, music artists, if they wanted to have their music out there, they had to go through other channels on the, like, through the radio, how they had to perform more shows. So tell us about that, how you've been able to use the internet to get your music out there.
Like I said, I got started making acoustic covers, but I wanted to make more original stuff, or at least do more production. And so I started producing, posting productions for the internet onto CG5 when I was doing like remixes and stuff. So remixes of Pokemon music and um, weird stuff from Lazy Town. I was doing a bunch of random things, weird things, but it wasn't exactly original just yet. But I realized that I wanted to keep on doing that, so I started writing more music, posting that, and I made a song about uh, an indie video game called Bendy and the Ink Machine, which was like an indie horror game. And there were a bunch of horror games out there that I could write songs about, and I wanted to delve into this universe, and so I made my first thing in that industry, and that got a bunch of views, and I realized I needed to keep doing stuff like this, and so I have been doing that ever since, and it's just been working really well for me.
I love it. And so, like you mentioned, you've been doing a lot of the songs about video games and pop cultural references, but I also noticed you recently released a song about, mental health issues, OCD, right?
Yeah, it's something I go through. It's it's really important that I get to share that sort of thing in my life, and I got to do that through this song, OCD.
Awesome. And what does it mean to you that to use your platform to talk about such an important issue?
Well, it's not something that I get to often do, especially since there's a lot more demand for songs about video games on my channel. So to have had the opportunity to share something like that is a lot is a big step forward for me as an artist to get to make a song, put a song out about myself rather than a video game or a property. And so that's why I made OCD, because it's something that I go through and went through excessively during my period of dating. Um, it was an intensive relationship obsessive compulsive disorder, and it was something that I learned that I had, um, and it's definitely something that I'm uh, excited to share. It kind of makes me feel like it's something that I've gotten off my chest, even though it's something that I still struggle with. I got to share it through this awesome music video with my wife, who I was able to find through this OCD struggle, through intensive therapy on my own, or not on my own, but with a therapist, of course. But I feel like I've got the help I needed, especially since now I get to be married to the one that I love forever.
Wow, that is incredible. And you just released a new song on Friday. Tell us about that.
So on Friday, I released a song called "Let Me In." There was a lot of hype for it. It's a song about an internet show called Murder Drones, and it's a show that it was like a limited series with only 8 episodes, but it was really popular. Um, and by the time it ended, I wanted to make a song about it, and I learned that the voice actor from one of the characters in this show, named Sin, Cyn, um, wanted to participate in this song. So they came to me, and I approached them with the idea, and she was all over it, and so she got to reprise her role for this song, and it's called "Let Me In." It just hit trending for music, number 16, just a bit above Future, which is really crazy, um, and it's really cool to see that doing well.
Wow, I love it. And also, I'm curious, I wanted to know more about, your viral TikTok sound. How did that come about? Because, you had several celebrities sharing that as well.
Yeah, so everybody told me that I sound like CG5, probably because I am CG5, and that was the sound that popped off for quite a while. It's certainly not popular anymore, but it had its heyday, and there are people like the voice actor of Bart Simpson used it. That The girl from Stranger Things, the voice actor Christina V from Miraculous Ladybug, all these people that just and Jared Leto, I remember that. All these people used the sound, and it was really cool to see my voice in their uh, mouths. It was very weird, but there were so many videos, and I'm grateful that I at least got to have my name in their brains, and I'm pretty sure it's in the back of their minds now. But I think a lot of people just know the name CG5 at this point, and I look forward to um, showing them what they're missing.
That is really cool. Is there any story behind that? Is that because, everyone really like thought you looked like CG5 and you are CG5? Like, what's the story behind it?
So I made a song with. So no, my friend Legrand, who is a fellow artist, made a song called "Give a Little," and he started a marketing campaign where everybody told him that he sounded like CG5. Um, and and in this marketing campaign, he says, "Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. What they didn't know is that his studio is just a couple miles from mine," which is true. And so we collaborated, and I added a verse to this song. But this whole "everybody told me" thing, that was just part of the marketing campaign, and people just think it's a part of the song, but they never actually probably not did listen to it. There is a lot of people that did listen to it, but more people have definitely heard the sound than others. And so that's basically how it came to be, because then I decided to make my own variation of it, where I said, everybody told me that I sound like CG5, probably because I am CG5. And I was just being silly. And people seem to gravitate towards it and use it for their own things. Like why do you sound like Bart Simpson? Probably because I am Bart Simpson, or things like that. And people use the sound in that way.
Wow, that's awesome. You mentioned your dad a little bit. Talk to us about your name, CG5, right? Is that because you're Charlie Green the Fifth in your family?
Yes. So I'm Charles Green the Fifth, and I don't think it's like an official name because my middle name is different. But we've gone down the line of Charles Green in generational things. So my father is the fourth, and then his late father is the third, and so on and so forth. And I decided to use that artist name CG5 because it just felt personal to me, and it's fun when people ask, and I can tell them what the roots of it is.
I absolutely love that. So you're on tour right now, like we mentioned. What does it mean to you to have shows selling out in major cities? I saw your shows sold out in Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles.
Yeah, and places like that is just really cool to see all these people come together just to see me. It's really, I get to perform for them, give it my all. They come in with the expectations of a good show, and I'm going to give it to them every time. To have sold out the El Rey Theater in Los Angeles, which is over 1,000 people, it's a start. And I want to keep on doing stuff like that. I want to keep on performing these shows. And so that's why I'm doing this tour, so that I can keep on going. And singing is my favorite thing to do, and to be able to sing for all these people has been quite the treat.
And what can people expect from your show in downtown Orlando this Saturday? Have you been to Central Florida before?
Um, I've been to Orlando for sure. I don't know if I've been to Tampa, but I've been to Orlando to go to Disney World a couple times, of course. But I'd love to see what Tampa's like, and Central Florida. I don't know if it's the same thing, but I'll figure that out. I'll learn once I'm out there. I'm definitely coming in during a very awkward time, I'd say, because of the hurricane, but I think that I will survive. So that's okay.
Yeah, maybe you'll provide some great escapism for people.
hmm
What is your favorite song to perform and why?
My favorite song to perform is probably Sleep Well right now. Sleep Well is a song that I wrote about the game Poppy Playtime, and I actually wrote it for their game, um, in collaboration with the company Mob Entertainment that made the game. And it's really cool because that song went very viral, um, and so everybody's always waiting for me to sing that song at the end of the show, and so I give it to them, um, but they never know. And I hope that anyone that is watching this right now doesn't know too much at this point, but you never know if I'm going to sing Sleep Well. I'm probably going to sing Sleep Well, but we'll see.
I love it. Well, what are you working on after your tour?
Well, so the beauty of my tour right now is that I get to come back after every weekend of singing at a city to my house. So yeah, that's where I am right now. This is my home studio, and I am on. This is probably like my 16th or 17th show. I'm not exactly sure which number it is, but it's it's out of all these shows that I've been doing or I'm going to do, which is in the double digits for sure. But I come back and I work on the songs that I need to make and put out, and I get to spend time with my wife and just hang out. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to share my talents, but also get to rest in between.
Absolutely, that family time is definitely important. Is there anything else you want to
hmm
bring up about your upcoming show in Orlando?
It's gonna be indoors, so you don't have to worry about any hurricane predicaments. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's dying down at this point, but um, I'd really love to, give you guys a show, and I'm excited to perform in Tampa and Orlando this Friday and Saturday. You can get your tickets at cg5music.com if you haven't yet. Um, get them before they're sold out.
Awesome, I love it. I do have to give you one little tidbit about your name when it comes to the news industry. I'm not sure if anyone has ever told you, but CG5 means something different here in news. It's actually like a graphics channel. So when I was first telling, yeah, like graphics channel when we're playing our newscasts and stuff when it comes to production. So
Wow,
when I was telling my coworkers at first about CG5, they're like, what are you talking about?" I thought I was talking about a graphics channel. I'm not sure if
that's
anyone's
funny.
told you that before, but I had to let you know.
Graphics channel, is that like what is that?
It's like so the directors could play out different graphics during the newscast, like the little lower
Oh, okay.
thirds, the full screens,
Got it.
different
Yeah.
different
Well,
things like that.
I guess I'm just a graphic then.
Yeah.
I'm not a real person.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it goes great with your digital internet world if you think when you think about it.
Yes, indeed. I always post cool graphic things for people to watch. So it's awesome.
I love it. Well, again, you could catch CG5 at the Social in downtown Orlando this Saturday. I've also posted all the ticket information on clickorlando.com/setting the stage. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Brooke. Thank you for having me.
Of course.